Hey, what's up, everyone? We went on a little field trip today to the Field Museum.
Yes, we did. If you want to take a look around.
Check it out, you guys. So there's a lot of things we saw today, but one of the most interesting exhibits we saw was the tattoo exhibit.
Yes.
We went there to do some research for our new project called Skin, which we're still in the process of interviewing people, so come talk to us.
And developing. This was kind of, we came here for the purpose to see the tattoo exhibit because we wanted to do a little more research, and a lot of how we do our work is kind of anthropological. We take interviews, make ethnographies, and then
we try to learn as much as we can from different cultures and different, the history of these different techniques. And one of the things that I thought was really interesting that I learned from that tattoo exhibit was just how it's not only used as a form of expression, but just the history of how it's been used to kind of dehumanize people as well, like kind of make people out to be, so you can tell who the criminals are, and you can tell how many, like you think about the Holocaust and how they would put numbers on people and tattoo them onto them and everything, and how it's also a form of branding as well. So you really see just the different histories of why someone would have a tattoo.
Yeah. Well, and then on the flip side of that, it's also
my arm's getting
the
tired.
cultural ideas of it.
Mm-hmm.
You see people having tattoos because it creates a form of identity, but also a form of community, because everyone in the community has this tattoo. There was a mini documentary of a 100-year-old woman in the Philippines who people go to her house all around the world
visit her in this like little hut that she lives in. She doesn't have any. I don't think she has electricity, right? Like, 'cause she was cooking with that little fire pit thing.
I'm not sure. Well, she says that she's a tattoo artist because she's poor, but it's very sacred, and it gives you a good perspective on what people are like in other parts of the world outside of the Western world, and especially what do we value, and how
and art. It's like it's incredible how many different cultures have had the idea to tattoo themselves, or it's just interesting how it's like this innate thing that's born in us to want to change our appearance in some way, to want to alter our bodies in some way that is like showcases our creativity and our whatever, just all these different things. And the way that people use art to tell stories too. Like, I've noticed that in the tattoo exhibit, a really common theme between all the different tattoos I saw were suns and moons and plants growing, and just the idea of telling the story of our earth through this body art.
Right. And a lot of when you learn about mythologies from different parts of the world, before we had science and we learned, that how our solar system worked, or how biology worked, the way that we understood the world was through stories.
Yeah.
And you had the storytellers who would explain, well, the world came to be because of a giant turtle, like in the Aboriginal stories in Australia, or even in Puerto Rico, my heritage, a lot of the Tainos, like they believe that there was a mother turtle and there were two sons. So there's different mythologies, and a lot of times the tattoo art, it comes from that. It's
these
rooted
stories.
in that mythology and keeping it up. So it's both sacred, and then in modern practices, it has also been used, like you said earlier, as a way to brand people.
Yeah.
And so it's really interesting to see choice versus being forced to do something.
Forced into getting something. Right, exactly. And what you just said about the stories, like how it's like it's like people are turning themselves into these walking stories. It's like when you see, it's weird. It's like I don't think I've ever really thought too hard about tattoos or what it means to have a tattoo. Like, I've always just kind of seen them as just like, I don't know, I've always just like associated tattoos with like punk culture or like, just kind of like alternative culture. And I've only thought about it in terms of like what it is in Western culture, but when you learn about the different histories within different tribes in different parts of the world, and how it's always been a practice that has existed, you know, not just, but like you said, not just to show your individuality, but to be part of a tribe as well, be part of a group.
Yeah, and I think, and it goes very well into the story that we're trying to tell with Skin, which
we got
is
some
taking
amazing ideas today.
Yeah, well, and taking from fairy tales and mythologies and turning the story that we're trying to tell into our own mythology or fairy tale or fable to learn from each other, because ultimately that's what stories and storytellers do. They help us to learn more about humanity.
Yeah, and just looking at Skin, people have so many different stories about why they do what they do to their skin, and it's just, we're very excited, you guys. We're really excited to keep this research process going. Don't forget, you guys, March 24th, which is a Friday, that's when we're going to be hosting our first group discussion about Skin, so please come out to the Old Town School of Folk Music. In the last video we said it was at the Grind, but we changed the location to the Old Town School of Folk Music. So
it's going to be in the East Building, room 324.
So come up there.
2 to 4 p.m.
2 to 4 p.m.
We will
Friday,
have
March
snacks.
24th. Yes, we're going to have
We'll give
snacks.
you some food. We'll entice you with food, and we'll be very kind.
Yes, and just, you know, we're just going to be asking questions about what you do with your skin.
Yes, we'll give you some food, and we will be very, very kind to you.
Yeah, so please come on out and see us.
Yes, and stay tuned for more homework and videos from us from around the city.
Yeah.
We really, I mean, Chicago has so many awesome resources. We're at the Field Museum today.
Check out the tattoo exhibit if you haven't already.
Yes, and then also there's going to be more field trips that we have in mind.
Definitely, we can't wait.
Okay, bye guys.
You set the power to all of my foes.